The last thing I want to mention in the design and the placement and how you're going to choose your placement of your speakers is to talk about near fields versus mid fields versus far field monitoring. Now, the most common monitoring you're going to run into in the project studio or even $1 million studios nowadays are going to be near field monitoring. Near field monitors are not meant to work with your room. They were actually designed to be as close as possible to your ears so that the room does not become part of the equation. Unfortunately, everyone doesn't understand this concept, right? So they actually will take HS5s, HS7s, near field monitoring, and they'll put them up on a bridge like this, and they'll get them far away and let them couple with the room and let the room influence their decisions, right? Why do people do that with near field monitors when they're not designed that way? It's because we're in rooms where we want to have stereo placement and separation, right? We're trying to exaggerate things because we're doing modern mixing, producing, recording, and we're trying to figure out a way to kind of make a near field monitor act as a midfield monitor. So we can feel like there's a bigger soundscape around us, so that maybe we can produce and it sounds and feels like it's wrapping around our heads. And that's the only reason really, but if you're going for the best mix you can possibly get and the best translation you can possibly get, the near field monitors should be really near you. They should be, maybe at arm's length at the furthest, right? That's what they're designed for. They're designed to be hitting your ear and keeping the reflections of the room out of the equation completely. And when we talk about midfields, that's when we talk about getting into the bigger monitors like the ones I have in the other studio, the SM9s, which are kind of in between near fields and midfields, where you do want them to sort of envelop the room, and they go down to 30 hertz. They start to roll off at 30 hertz, and they're a three-way system. So the room actually influences a lot of the monitoring, but also the placement, the up, down, the left, right, the depth of where you're placing instruments, etc. So that's a really important aspect of speaker design and a big part of how we're going to decide where to place these speakers. So without further ado, let's get into placing these speakers.